Anna didn't move at first. The child's sobs cut straight through her, each cry carrying a weight she remembered from long ago. The girl slammed her tiny hands against her temples, whispering words Anna couldn't understand, as if begging the noise in her mind to stop. Anna crouched low, careful not to make a sudden sound. She didn't reach out. She knew that could make it worse. Instead, she sat on the cold wooden floor, just close enough for the child to sense she wasn't alone. Slowly, Anna began to hum. It was an old lullaby, soft and fragile, one her grandmother used to sing when Anna's younger brother had his meltdowns. The melody floated gently through the room, weaving past the cries, reaching for the girl without touching her. The little one paused. Her fists loosened. She tilted her head, as if listening despite herself. Anna's voice grew steadier, warmer, filling every corner of the silence between sobs. And then the girl stopped. No more pounding, no more rocking, just heavy breaths, shaky but calmer. Her eyes stayed shut tight, but her body slumped in exhaustion, as if the song had pulled her back from the storm. Anna's throat tightened. For a moment, she wasn't in that bedroom anymore. She was back in her old house, holding her brother's hand, watching him find peace in the very same tune. Memories stung, but she pushed them aside. This wasn't about her. A voice broke the silence. "What are you doing here?" Anna turned sharply. A man stood in the doorway, frozen. His tie hung loose around his neck, his face pale with shock. He wasn't angry, just stunned. His eyes darted between Anna and the little girl, who now lay trembling but quiet on the floor. She stopped crying. He whispered, disbelief in every word. "How did you?" Anna swallowed hard, forcing herself to stand. "I only sang," she said softly, brushing her palms against her work apron. The man stepped closer, his gaze never leaving her face. "Who are you?" "Anna Silva," she answered, steady but nervous. "I started today. I'm the new housemaid." For a long moment, he said nothing, just stared, as though trying to make sense of what had just happened. And in his silence, Anna realized this was no ordinary job. Something far deeper had just begun. The man finally spoke, his voice low, almost broken. "She never calms down this fast. Not in years." Anna looked at the girl, still trembling, her small fists curled against her chest. She wanted to reach out, but she stayed still. One wrong move could undo everything. "Your daughter?" Anna asked softly. He nodded, eyes glistening though he tried to hide it. "Clara. She's 6. Severe autism. Therapists, specialists, expensive programs. Nothing ever works." But now, his gaze locked on Anna. "You sang," and she stopped. Anna shifted, uncomfortable under his stare. "I used to care for someone like her," she admitted. "My brother. He passed away, but I learned how to wait, how to listen. Sometimes, love works better than textbooks." The man exhaled sharply, as if the words hit him deeper than expected. He ran a hand through his messy hair. "I'm Gabriel." He extended a hand, but Anna only wiped hers nervously on her apron before shaking it briefly. "Thank you," he said, almost a whisper. Anna nodded, not trusting her voice. Gratitude from wealthy employers wasn't common in her world. She'd scrubbed floors for years, invisible in houses like this. But here, after one song, she wasn't invisible. She was essential. Still, reality pressed in. She couldn't forget why she had taken this job. Her mother, bedridden after surgery, the bills stacking higher every week. This position paid only a little more than the last, but enough to cover one prescription. Enough to keep the electricity on for another month. She couldn't risk losing it. "Will she be okay?" Anna asked carefully, glancing at Clara. Gabriel crouched beside his daughter, brushing a strand of hair from her damp forehead. Clara didn't respond, but her breathing had slowed. He looked back at Anna, eyes heavy with something between awe and desperation. "She's peaceful," he said. "That hasn't happened in months." For a moment, the room was silent except for the sound of Clara's soft breaths. Then, Gabriel stood tall again, squaring his shoulders like a man used to control but shaken by what he couldn't explain. "You've done more in 10 minutes than specialists did in years," he said. "Anna, I need you here, not just as a maid." Her heart stumbled. What did he mean? She wanted to protest, to remind him she was no therapist, no miracle worker. But his eyes begged her to understand. And in that instant, Anna realized this job was about to become something far more complicated than she ever expected. The next morning, Anna arrived early, her nerves tangled with curiosity. She wasn't sure if Gabriel had truly meant what he said, or if it had been a moment of desperation. Wealthy people often spoke with intensity one day and forgot it the next. She couldn't afford to hope for more. But as soon as she stepped into the house, she noticed something different. The air wasn't as heavy. The silence wasn't as cold. And then she saw Clara sitting cross-legged on the carpet, her gaze fixed on the spinning wheel of a toy car. Anna froze. Clara had never acknowledged her presence yesterday, but now the girl tilted her head slightly as if she knew Anna was there. "Good morning, Clara," Anna whispered. No response, but the child didn't retreat either. She simply went back to spinning the wheel, round and round, the rhythm steady, hypnotic. Anna smiled faintly. Progress didn't always look like smiles and hugs. Sometimes it was just the absence of fear. She set down her cleaning supplies, humming under her breath as she dusted the shelves. Not loud, not intrusive, just a gentle melody floating through the room. By the second verse, Clara paused. Her tiny hands stopped the car's wheel. She turned, ever so slightly, toward Anna. Anna pretended not to notice, heart racing. She continued wiping the books, humming the same lullaby. After a few minutes, she heard it, the softest sound, almost imperceptible. Clara was humming along. Tears burned Anna's eyes, but she kept her voice steady. She didn't dare break the fragile bridge being built. Remarkable, isn't it? Anna spun around. Gabriel stood in the doorway again, watching with disbelief. He looked exhausted, dark circles under his eyes, but in that moment, hope flickered across his face for the first time in years. "She's responding," he murmured. "To you." Anna shook her head quickly. "It's not me. It's the music. Children like her, they feel things deeper than we realize." But Gabriel wasn't convinced. His gaze lingered on her, as if she carried some hidden gift. Anna lowered her eyes, suddenly uncomfortable. She wasn't used to being looked at like that. Not as a maid, not even as a woman. The following days became a rhythm of their own. Anna would hum while scrubbing floors or folding laundry. Clara would drift closer, drawn by the melodies. Sometimes she sat 2 feet away, sometimes only inches. Once, she reached for a colored block Anna held, placing it carefully beside the others. It was a small gesture, but Anna's chest swelled. Trust. And every time, Gabriel noticed. He stood quietly in doorways, watching the impossible unfold before him. His daughter, long trapped in silence, was slowly opening a window toward connection, and Anna was the key. But Anna also noticed something else. The more Clara leaned toward her, the more Gabriel leaned too. Not with words, not with obvious gestures, but with the way his eyes softened when they landed on her, the way his voice lowered when he spoke her name. Anna told herself it was nothing. She was here to work, to survive, to keep her mother alive. Anything beyond that was dangerous. Yet, when Clara's small fingers brushed hers one quiet afternoon, Anna felt something shift inside her. And she knew this wasn't just a job anymore. By the end of the second week, Anna felt the rhythm of the mansion settling into her bones. She cleaned, cooked simple meals when the cook was away, and in the quiet spaces she sang. Clara had stopped hiding from her. Sometimes she followed Anna like a silent shadow. Sometimes she simply sat nearby, tracing shapes on the carpet while Anna worked. It was fragile, delicate, but it was progress. Gabriel noticed everything. He didn't say much, but Anna could feel the gratitude radiating from him in unspoken ways. The way he made sure she ate with the staff instead of alone. The way his tone softened when he asked about her mother's health. The way he lingered just a little longer in the rooms where she worked. But not everyone saw it that way. One Friday evening, as the house prepared for a formal dinner, Gabriel's mother arrived. Donna Helena was a woman carved from stone, every line of her face carrying sharp judgment. She entered the living room just as Anna was helping Clara build a tower of colored blocks on the rug. Helena stopped cold. "What is this?" Her voice was sharp enough to slice through glass. Anna froze, instinctively lowering her eyes. Clara, startled, knocked the tower over with a sweep of her arm. Gabriel entered just in time to catch the scene. "Mother! Don't mother me," Helena snapped, her gaze fixed on Anna. "Why is the maid on the floor with my granddaughter? Where's her therapist? Where's the professional I pay for?" Anna's cheeks burned. She stood quickly, hands clasped in front of her. "I'm sorry, Senora. I was only—" Overstepping, Helena cut in. "You are here to clean, not to meddle in matters you don't understand." Anna bit her lip, willing herself not to cry. She'd endured humiliation before, cold employers, sharp words, suspicion that came with poverty. But this time was different. This time it stung deeper, because Clara was behind her, rocking slightly, confused by the sudden storm in the room. "Mother, enough!" Gabriel's voice was firm now. "Anna has been helping Clara more than anyone else ever has." Helena's eyes widened in disbelief. "Helping? She is unqualified. Do you want gossip to spread? The neighbors will say your daughter is being raised by the maid. What kind of father does that make you?" The silence that followed was suffocating. Anna wanted to disappear, to melt into the polished floor. Gabriel's jaw tightened, but he didn't flinch. "The kind of father who cares about what works," he said at last, his tone sharp. And Clara responds to Anna. "That's all that matters." Helena scoffed. "Responds? Or clings to her because you're too blind to see what's really happening? She is manipulating her way into this house, Gabriel. Mark my words." The accusation hit Anna like a slap. Her stomach twisted. She wanted to defend herself, to tell this woman about her brother, about the years of experience pain had forced on her, about how she would never, could never, use a child to gain anything. But the words caught in her throat. Instead, she whispered, "With respect, Senora, I only do what Clara allows me to do. Nothing more." Helena glared at her, unimpressed. Then she turned to her son. "You will regret this." With that, she swept from the room, her heels striking the floor like gunshots. Anna's chest was tight. Shame and doubt swirled inside her. Maybe Helena was right. Maybe she was stepping into a place she didn't belong. She bent down to gather the scattered blocks, hands trembling. But then, Clara moved closer. Small fingers slid over Anna's hand, stopping her. The little girl pressed a red block into Anna's palm, her eyes wide, unblinking. No words, but a gesture that spoke volumes. "Stay." Anna looked up, meeting Gabriel's gaze. His expression was fierce, protective, but also uncertain. Between them hung unspoken questions, dangerous and fragile. Because now Anna realized it wasn't just Clara who needed her. Gabriel did too. The storm came sooner than Anna expected. One Monday morning, the doorbell rang. She wasn't supposed to answer, but the other staff were busy, so she did. Standing on the marble porch was a woman who looked like she had stepped out of a magazine. Silk blouse, hair smooth as glass, lips painted a bold red. Her smile, however, was razor-sharp. "I'm looking for Gabriel," she said. Her voice carried authority, like someone used to being obeyed. Anna hesitated. "May I ask who's calling?" The woman's eyes swept over her, head to toe, dripping with disdain. "His ex-wife, Clara's mother." Anna's stomach dropped. Within minutes, Gabriel appeared, his expression dark. "Vittoria," he muttered, the name bitter on his tongue. She strode past Anna without waiting to be invited, perfume lingering in the air. "Don't look so surprised," she said, her tone syrupy sweet. "I've come for my daughter." Anna froze, every muscle tight. Clara? After years of silence, after abandoning her, now she wanted her back? Gabriel's jaw clenched. "You left. You can't just waltz in here and pretend you care." Vittoria turned slowly, her smile widening. "Care? Gabriel, please. She's my child. A mother's rights are stronger than your accusations. The courts will agree." The words hit Anna like ice. Courts? This wasn't just a visit. It was a war. As if on cue, Clara appeared at the top of the stairs, clutching the railing. Her wide eyes darted between the adults. She didn't recognize the woman below. When Vittoria opened her arms and called her name, Clara flinched, pressing against the banister. "See?" Gabriel snapped. She doesn't even know you. But Vittoria's smile never faltered. She will. Then her gaze slid to Anna, sharp as a knife. Unless, of course, she's too attached to outsiders. Anna's breath caught. She wanted to protect Clara, to shield her from the stranger who called herself Mother. But what power did she really have? She was just a maid. Gabriel stepped forward, his voice steady but dangerous. You won't take her. Vittoria tilted her head, amused. We'll see about that. My lawyer will be in touch. And with that, she swept out of the house, leaving behind the stench of perfume and threat. Anna's knees weakened. Clara hurried down the stairs and clung to her hand, trembling. Gabriel watched them both, his expression torn between fury and fear. For the first time since she arrived, Anna realized the truth. This wasn't about cleaning floors anymore. She had been pulled into a battle for a child's future. And battles like these never ended clean.